So 2 weeks ago, I got the absolute honor of being able to speak at H-Town Showdown in front of hundreds of consultants. But of course, I forgot to record it, and so many wanted it recorded. So the good news about me having to print out my entire speech of notes is that I can redo the entire speech without you missing anything because I have it all typed up right here. So, hi guys, my name is Caitlin Beria. I am Superstar Director of Beria's Fantastic Beasts, and I have been with Scentsy 11 years next month. I normally start all of my trainings out by telling my story, but I only have a short time with you today. The important thing to know about me is that I started Scentsy as a kidnapper. Yeah, I joined this business to help out my aunt after she severely twisted my arm. Don't get me wrong, I loved the product. I was new to Scentsy, and I had just thrown out all of my Bath and Body Works stuff to make room for new wax and warmers. I was a sophomore in college, 19 years old. I basically thought that I knew everything that I wanted out of life, right? Like when you're that age, you just think you know it all. And boy, was I wrong. I wanted to be a politician or a lawyer. Haha, joke is on me, right? My Scentsy kit came in and I threw the dang thing in the closet and I was never going to touch it again. But then God happened. A friend of mine found herself in a really sad situation, so I threw a fundraiser for her with my new Scentsy business. That fundraiser secured me my first promotion, my first new recruit, my first home party. I realized that if I could help out a friend and make her some money, that this opportunity could help me too, right? And the rest is history. Scentsy has been my one and only full-time job since I was 19 years old. Y'all, I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't earn any of my initial startup goals with Scentsy. So if you're watching this and you didn't reach Shooting Star or Sensational Start, there is still so much hope for you. If you're watching this and thinking, heck, I don't have any marketing experience, I don't have any sales experience, I have no idea how I'm going to make this Scentsy thing work, I'm here to tell you that you can learn and it's never too late for you. Scentsy has become the thing in my life that has made me brave. It's made me embrace the most authentic side of me. It's taught me to let my nerd flag fly and not give a crap what anybody thinks. It's taken a little girl who was insecure and didn't have any friends and changed her into somebody that I am really proud of. Not only is Scentsy my one and only full-time big girl job, but it's also helped me to travel the world. I have been on so many incentive trips with Scentsy that I've lost count, but some of my favorites were the top 100 trip to Greece, the top 100 trip to Africa, and the top 100 trip to Switzerland. So how did a girl who wanted to be a lawyer become a pretty darn good network marketer? By building my Scentsy business on top of a pillar of good branding and attraction marketing. Today, I want to give you some tips on how to adequately brand and market yourself on social media. So, what's the first thing that I want you to keep in mind? Your brand is different than Scentsy's brand. You are the face of your brand. People don't follow you for what you sell. They follow you for you. If someone wanted to see flyers and stock images all the time, they can follow Scentsy for that, right? So how do you essablish your brand? I've been watching a lot of Modern Millie on YouTube and Instagram. That's Modern Millie, Millie. And she talks about growing your social presence. So a lot about what I'm talking about today can be elaborated upon by going to her socials and her channel. She says, combine your passions with your zone of genius. Sit down and make a list of all the things that you love and are passionate about. Once you've done that, ask the people closest to you some questions. Some things that you can think about asking them are, what things do you think about when you think of me? What are some things that you think I'm really good at? As humans, we are not really the best at giving ourselves credit, so it's good to have an outside perspective to help you narrow down your brand. If you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you can probably clearly tell what my brand is. Actually, you can look in this video frame and see some things that will explain to you who I am. That's what you want your customers to be able to easily define for you as well. Now, my dad passed away when I was young, leaving my mom and I to raise my 2 little brothers on our own. I had to grow up really, really fast. And I'm not saying I had a bad childhood, quite the opposite actually. But because I had to grow up so fast, when I moved out and became an adult standing on my own, I found that I was more interested in pleasing my inner child than I was with anything else. I was the kid in school that didn't have very many friends. I got bullied a lot. I'm telling y'all that I snuck my Polly Pockets in my backpack almost all the way up through high school. I was just that kind of kid. I always had a big imagination, a big love for fairy tales and things like that. Now I'm a 30-year-old nerd doing anything that I can to heal that inner child inside of me. I still collect toys. Anybody collect Funko Pops? You should see my collection. I have over 400, but you didn't hear that from me. I love building Legos. I love reading still. The Harry Potter books will always be my favorite. My favorite thing that I do though is I dress up as my favorite characters. You can see back here, and go to Comic Cons or dress up when I go to Disney and Universal. It's called cosplaying, and it's something that I become more and more passionate about every single day. That kid that was afraid to be herself when she was younger is basically breaking free and doing whatever because she doesn't care what others think of her. Scentsy has taught me how to embrace that side of me as I've learned how to market my business over the years. I'll tell you a funny story about how well I've built my brand. When I was at Reunion a couple of weeks ago, me and some of my SSD friends decided to do an 80s day with our teams, and we dressed up. Are you a Stranger Things fan? Me too. I dressed up as Eddie Munson, full 80s wig and all. I was sitting on a bench with my back turned to the escalator, and another consultant came up behind me. She kind of like bent down to see my face, and she laughed and she said, "Now, we've never met in person, but I follow you on Instagram. I saw the wig from behind as I was coming down the escalator, and I asked myself, okay, who would be wearing a wig like that?" And my mind immediately went to you, and here you are. My brand is all things nerd and childlike wonder, and I use that pillar to build my entire business on. Find your passions and what you're good at, and use those things to build a more solid foundation for your Scentsy business. Scentsy's branding is all purple and green and stars and bar shapes and classic curve. There's simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Yes, you sell Scentsy, but that brand is not you. Market yourself first before Scentsy, and I can promise you that you'll get better results. Be so dang good at being yourself that someone can recognize you from behind in a wig, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You'll hear a lot in the network marketing business to find your niche. One of my friends and I were just talking about this the other night. So what the heck is a niche, and why is it so important? A niche is a segment of a larger market that can be defined by its own unique needs, preferences, or identity that makes it different from a market at large. Look at it this way. There are a ton of consultants out there, but no two consultants are the same. How are you going to narrow down your brand and marketing strategy to appeal to certain customers? By finding your niche and honing in on it. Look at it as a big game of fishing. You're the fisherman, and you're going to catch certain customers depending on the bait that you are casting out there. Some examples of niches that we can think of are fitness, travel, fashion, cooking, crafting, etc. It's basically just what you're interested in. Once you have your niche narrowed down to a broader base like this, then you hone in on it. If you chose fitness as your niche, maybe narrow that down to fitness from home for busy moms, or travel versus how to travel on a budget, fashion versus eco-friendly 70s fashion. Get more specific when you find out what you want to focus on. I categorize my niche as all things nerd, but when I narrow it down even more and get more precise, my niche is nerd who wants to help other adults embrace their inner child. Niches are basically a marketing tool that you can use to your advantage to attract the tribe that you want to be surrounded with. When you have your niche narrowed down, it makes it easier to decide what you're going to post about on a day-to-day basis. It becomes what people know you for because it's you, and you get to choose what you want to be known for. It isn't just Scentsy. It gives you a way to market yourself better and not just the product and company that we sell for. Branding and marketing your business isn't just about the pretty colors and patterns that you use on your marketing materials and images you make. It's also about the way you make your customers feel and the stories that you tell. Your vibe attracts your tribe. That's the whole basis around attraction marketing. Once you establish your brand and niche and get better at your marketing game, you'll notice that you are bringing people in that are more like you. Going back to the fisherman strategy, let's think about the type of bait that you're casting on social media. Not just in terms of your niche, but in terms of your vibe. If you're constantly being negative on your socials or posting political nonsense or super polarizing things, those are probably the people that you're attracting to you. And you're probably scaring the people away that you really want to take notice of your business. If you're constantly casting out negativity with your bait, those are the kinds of people that you're going to catch. Be mindful of the things that you post because people are always watching you. This doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. Not everything has to be perfect, and I think so many of us get caught up in wanting perfection that we then just don't take any action. Don't be afraid to be real on social media. Don't think that your home has to always be clean and that you have to always be dressed up and looking 100% to be able to post or make videos or go live. Be relatable. Share your struggles. You're a human, not a robot, and showing this side of you makes it so that your customers get to know the real you. Customers choose who they shop with using 3 different categories. Do they know you? Do they like you? And do they trust you? Your marketing strategy should be based upon getting your customers to like, know, and trust the real you. Once you have your brand and your niche established, you want to weave those things throughout everything that you do in your business. I do monthly scent crates for my customers. They're like Scentsy's Whiff Box, but I choose a theme each month and curate the box around the theme myself. It's just another way that I can grow relationships with my customers and expand on my brand. One of the themes that I did lately was a bookish box. I went around to all my local thrift stores and found some of my favorite books that I've read for cheap, like 50 cents to $1, and I built a really cute scent crate around this theme. I sent my customers a survey of all the books that I had found, and I let them choose 3 books from the list of all of them, and they absolutely loved it. When I first started Scentsy, I hosted a Harry Potter party, Halloween open house for my customers. I decorated my house to look just like Hogwarts. I had Harry Potter themed snacks, and I asked my customers to come dress up as their favorite characters. To this day, my customers still talk about this party. I don't have very many local customers at the moment, and my husband and I are actually planning to move again soon, but the upcoming Hocus Pocus 2 movie and warmer launch would be a perfect time to do something like this if it fits within your brand. You could have a Hocus Pocus 2 watch party, but also make it a Scentsy open house. So, what do you do when you start attracting all of these cool people to your business? Network marketing isn't just about the marketing side of it all. It has to be about networking too, and that means growing that relationship with those customers. One of my friends asked me the other day, so what systems do you have in place in your business that makes you successful? And I will be as honest with you as I was with her. There's a term that I call myself in my business. I call myself slazy, okay? I slay, but I'm lazy. I'm sorry. I got into this business. Well, I didn't get into this business for anything because I was a kidnapper. But once I got my feet wet and got into this business to actually do it, I did it to wake up when I want to. I did it to wear pajamas all day. I did it to make my own dang hours. I don't want to work myself to the bone. So I found the few things that I'm good at, and I work really, really hard at those. I stay consistent with my scent crates. I'm super active in my VIP page and on social media. But the most important piece to this ties right back into what I said before I got off on this tangent. Treat your customers like a person and not a sale. When you gain these new relationships and these new followers, don't take that lightly. Interact with them. Respond to their social media posts. Pay attention to what is going on with their lives. Because your vibe attracts your tribe, most of my customers look like me. We read the same things. We watch the same movies. We have similar hobbies. We have a lot to talk about and a lot to relate to. And I think that's how I've been able to maintain such a steady business over the years, because I'm not letting these people I attract to me fall to the wayside. I'm actively seeking a relationship with them. My friend that hosted the H-Town Showdown and I were actually talking about this. We both don't have a super concrete follow-up plan because we are following up with our customers more often in the non-traditional sense. We talk about things other than Scentsy because these people have become our friends and an important part of our lives. And who doesn't need more friends, right? You are the face of your brand. Make sure that you're putting your face on everything. Like we talked about before, if people wanted to just see flyers and marketing tab images all the time, they can just go follow Scentsy Corporate for that. They want to see you. Take pictures of yourself with the product, show how you're using the actual product in your home. Marketing doesn't have to be expensive either. You don't have to own every single product we have to be able to adequately showcase your business. When we had the rainbow wax collection a couple weeks ago, I didn't have my bars yet, but I wanted a cute marketing image to use. I took a photo holding my hands out, and then I saved the pictures of the Scentsy bars from the marketing tab, and I edited them into the photo to look like a rainbow above my hands. Don't let your lack of products on hand stifle you from sharing. Just get creative with it and think outside of the box. Use the tools already provided by different social media platforms to better expand on your brand and attract new followers. A great example of this right now would be Instagram Reels. My team and I are currently doing a 31-day challenge to help get our interaction up on our Instagram. Staying up to date on what's going on with each platform you use to market your business is really important. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but platforms like Facebook and Instagram are moving more towards videos than they are photo platforms. When you open Instagram now and you start to scroll, you're more likely to see 5 to 7 videos, or what they call reels, before you even see one photo post. This means that you need to start getting comfortable with new ways to market your business. Reels are short 30 to 90 second video snippets, and Instagram is starting to prioritize these in their feeds more than any other posts. Chances are, if you're on Instagram right now and you're not doing Reels, your profile is probably not getting as much exposure as it did in the past. And make sure that if you have a private account, you're not going to get any traction on your Reels anyway, because the Reels that you're making are only being shown to your current followers. If you have a private profile, you're not taking advantage of the ways that you could be growing your following on Instagram by having a public one. So just make sure that your account is public as well, or your Reels won't be seen by anybody other than those that already follow you. I could sit here and do an entire training on Reels alone, but I just wanted to touch on them quickly and encourage you all to do some research on these yourself. Reels are another great tool to showcase who you are as a person. If you go on my Instagram right now, my Instagram is Queen of Scent. You'll find reels that I've done about how obsessed I am with Halloween. You'll see reels about my obsession with Star Wars and Disney. Most of them are goofy, but it's showing my personality, right? It's getting me into other people's news feeds and attracting more of my nerdy type of people to me. They come for the nerdiness, and if I'm lucky, they stay for the Scentsy, right? Social media is changing all of the time. So are our businesses. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We have to be able to ride the waves and roll with the punches as business owners. Make sure you're staying on top of social media trends and tools to best market your business and gain more followers. Follow the 80-20 rule. Marketing your business on any social media platform should be 80% your life and 20% your business. And even when you're talking Scentsy, make sure it isn't too salesy and spammy. To avoid this, show how Scentsy fits into your everyday life. I think I've said this like 3 times now, but I'm going to keep beating it into your heads. If people wanted to see Scentsy in every single post, they can go follow Scentsy, the company, for that. There are also hundreds of thousands of consultants. What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? I can promise you that you have things about you that make you special, whether you want to see it or believe it or not. Use those special things to flaunt your weird and bring other weirdos to you. Before I go, I wanted to leave you with one more quick story. For those in the audience, or for those watching, thinking that you may not be special, or that you don't have something about you that sets you apart from others, I'm talking to you. Last year, when I was on the Disney incentive trip, we got to have a night at Hollywood Studios to ourselves. And y'all, the Star Wars nerd in me rejoiced. We even got time to build our own lightsabers. I was giddy, so obviously I dressed up. I wore an all-black costume with a cape and carried a red lightsaber like a Sith Lord. I'm pretty sure I was the only one in all of Scentsy that dressed up like that. Besides kids, of course. And I'm not sorry. You know why? Not only because I had a great time and I got some amazing pictures out of it, Scentsy literally had their photographer do a whole photo shoot of just me just because of how cool I looked. I'm not afraid to say that I looked cool, but because I made an impact on at least one person that evening. When the gate to Hollywood Studios opened, I was practically running to be the first person to get on the rides. Another consultant came up to me as I was running and asked if she could see my schedule for the evening. I stopped and I politely showed it to her and I helped her on her way, and then I said, "All right, friends, nice to meet you, but mama's on a mission," and I started running again. This friend of mine started following me on Instagram shortly after that. I saw her at Reunion a couple weeks ago, and she came up to me and she said, "Kaylin, I have to thank you for something. Do you remember how we met last year?" And she recounted the story that I just told you back to me, but with a little difference. For me, it was just a chance circumstance to meet a new friend. For her, it was something much more. She said, "You were so kind to me, but that's not all that I remembered. I watched as you ran away from me with your lightsaber and your cape billowing behind you, and I just stood there in awe. I thought, wow, this girl is so cool." I realized in that moment that what you were doing was everything that I wanted to be doing, but I wasn't brave enough at the time to do it. You gave me the courage to be me and not give a dang what anybody else thinks. Now, she's one of the coolest people that I follow on social media. I love her sharing style and the things that she posts. Come to find out, I am the one that influenced her to become this amazing light on social media. Friends, you have so much power. So much. This quote was shared in my group the other day, and I wanted to share it with you. People don't follow you because of what you sell. People follow you because of how you make them feel. People follow you because you show them what's possible. which makes them feel inspired. People follow you because of your core values and what you stand for, which makes them feel validated. People follow you because of the stories you tell, which makes them feel connected. Take a moment to think about your ideal client opening up Instagram or any other social platform right now. What are they struggling with? What's important to them? What's something that they need to hear? Help people feel seen. Help people feel joy. Help people feel relief, and then watch your community grow. Putting yourself out there like this can be scary. Confidence isn't just a given trait, it's a learned trait. You have to do things every single day that scare you so that you can begin to learn how to be confident. You're always going to have people that judge you. Do you know how many people out there on the internet absolutely hate Disney adults? But do you think I care? You can't become the best version of yourself while still caring what other people think. Go out there and do it scared. I promise you that you'll become a version of yourself that you're so proud of while building a stronger business at the same time. If you want to be good at Scentsy, be good at doing more things that set your soul on fire and sharing that openly with the world. I hope you guys got some tips and tricks from that. I hope you learned a little something. If I saw you at H-Town Showdown, thank you so much for making that weekend so amazing for me. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.